Are you stoked?
Hey!
Oh, my Kindle and Nancy heading to the mic also.
En is so vroeg.
Yeah.
Kindle.
At this time, it's not possible. Anyway, today we have the amazing Altovise Lawrence. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much to the Greens.
Hello everybody. Hello.
And Kendall, you want to introduce our guest host?
What's your name again?
I'm
just kidding.
Kindle is gone.
Yo, Kindle. Casa Manita Hirika.
Hirika.
Yes, girl.
What a romantic surname.
Anyway, so moving straight into the topic, Altovise, can you please give us like a brief summary on you? Who are you as Altovise? What do you love? What makes you not?
Why did you call me here if you don't know, Nana?
We know.
Oh,
we
okay.
want
No.
people to know.
That's a.
Alto?
This is not about
We
us.
want
Who's
the
Alto?
our viewers. Not the Altovise.
Yes.
Ik het nou eens die viewers nie. But who is Altovise? Altovise is a woman. From Regenpark, van Regenpark af aan die kassie, school geloop, in Boksbakken. I'm very family orientated, very much about my career. Some people who are in this room with us would call me extremely stubborn, which is something that I'm very proud to be. Which is something that I'm very, very proud to be. But if anything, I think if you ask people about me, they'd use words such as passionate, headstrong, difficult, which is a beautiful thing, I think, in some instances to be called, but just passionate and a lover of things. Dunking.
It's vibes.
Yeah.
Vibes.
It's like when you ask, they made this meme and it was like whenever you ask a woman about herself, she says, I'm a lover of things.
Yeah, like, I mean, I love everything. I love food, I love drinks, I love dogs, I love the boys.
Those are things. Okay, so Alto, you are a jack of many trades, but right now I'm going to focus on acting. So what is your earliest acting memory?
I don't think I've got the earliest memory of acting more so than my parents and my family. So wanneer jy saam met my ma en pa praat, my uncles, even that's wat oorlede is, my aunties and alles, as I would say, I've never been lazy to perform. And I think the earliest memory is, I can say as a baby, waking my parents up, opening the curtains and wanting to tell them a story. I'd like to think that storytelling is a form of performing. It is performance actually. Maar as hy van hulle sal my sê, as ek dorp toe gaan en ek sit in 'n taxi en meisie sing, dan kry ek 'n R5. Verstaan jy? And I think the earliest memory of it being professional, I'd like to think is just my mal of my a speaker box ook op met 'n mic.
Yeah.
En 'n taxi was ek saam met dit. As ons dorp toe gaan, as ek saam met dit. En as jy nou sê sing vir Brenda Fassie, en sing ek vir Brenda Fassie met hy mic en hy speaker. And I'd get money for it. And not because I'm being pumped out, you know.
Yeah.
Daar is hy uncle wat sê sing as ons chap geld maak. But it's a situation of, if you asked me, I would never hesitate to do what I like doing. So I think that would be my earliest memory of performing. It's just being. I think by virtue of being born and raised in the home that I was raised in, and my personality not being stifled or jy maak nou te veel geraas. Daar sal is with like Altovise jy praat nou bietjie te veel. Maar as ek nou 'n storie wil sê, as ek nou wil sing, as ek nou wil dans, sal my ouers nooit sê moenie. I was allowed to freely express myself, and I think the seed was already there, and my parents just supporting it, and my aunts and my uncles and I mean so ome just watering that seed is what made it. Yeah. Yeah.
So sticking on that point of like your parents and that, who do you think you get more of your personality from? And your, how can I say?
When I was younger, was ek baie chachi. Ek hoor it was forward man. And I would say, ek is wat? Ek is my ma se kind. Ek wou sê ek is my ma se kind, you know. But the older I'm getting, I think I'm much more reserved. And I think sometimes you see that life has changed when people who knew in the 1990s, Jaleel, when I was born, by the way. Maar Mas aunties wou nou nog sê dance vir my. I'm 31. No. I'm not going to dance with you. You know what I'm trying to say? So, what was the question again?
Who did you get it
Okay,
from?
back to the question. It was my kind. I'd like to think that I still have the personality, but now I think I'm my father's child. I think my facial features my father, my nose is my father's, my brain is my father's, my experience, my backbone is my mother. Mother's the spine, by virtue of just bringing me here is the spine. But I'd like to think I draw from both my parents, and then somewhere in the middle you have Altovise that disagrees with both parents. You know, but they can say ni mama ekstemi sami da is verkeerd nie that I think you're lying, you know, respectfully. But I think that's where I am right now, and I think it's because I was able to freely experience both sides that I'm able to stand as Altovise. Unapologetically so, if that even makes sense. So I think I draw from both of them. There are people that still live in the past that think or will say, but I'm constantly becoming. Now that I'm getting older, becoming the woman that I'm becoming now in my early 30s, I think I'm drawing, as much as I can speak and see my father, I'm very much my mother, because I'm able to have a different conversation as a woman, you know, able to have a different conversation with my father where he sees me. I'm still the firstborn, I'm still the only daughter, but also you're here now, you know, you've evolved. So I'd like to think the older I'm getting, both of them, but still Altovise, a different version of Altovise in this instance.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so
guys.
Yeah.
So, my heart is
Yo,
like, yes,
guys, like,
after getting all of that information, I'm like,
Global
damn.
chocolates,
It is still the month of love, so
Yes.
can
Easy.
it's allowed to.
He's there, man.
I didn't get a Valentine's present.
Yo.
If you're my man,
What's it?
Papa,
You are sleeping. You are sleeping.
no, he's awake. Papa, we'll try again next year. We'll try again next year.
So there's nothing.
We've never really celebrated Valentine's Day, but this year we said we'll try. Then we forgot,
You
Okay.
forgot.
both of us. But Papa,
It's not that deep though.
it isn't it though? Okay, maybe. We don't know.
No, also, we are not yet to invalidate. We are also
Also,
the side of the woman.
my parents still give one another Valentine's Day gift.
Aw,
So
that's so
you
sweet.
do everything. Oh.
But that's sweet. That's sweet. I don't even think my parents like each other. That's why.
No, but also I figured that relationships are work. I wake up every day and I have to choose my partner, and he has to choose me too.
Yeah.
Because if I choose you alone and you don't choose me, it's a one-sided relationship. It's never gonna work.
Yeah.
I can buy you a house or car, I can give you all the money in the world, but if you don't choose me, in the smallest instances, we shouldn't be in a relationship with one another. So I think relationships are work, and you work. You work. Yeah.
I think. Do you think it's like important to tell your partner like, "Thank you for choosing me"?
Yeah. Yes, I'd like to think, because it comes with self-awareness. I know I'm not the easiest person to deal with. So in instances where this person is exercising a level of patience that I'm just like, yo, you're not normally this patient. Maar met my is jy so patient. Jy's gewoonlik, jy praat nie, maar wanneer ek en jy maybe stry oor iets, you actually sit down and have the conversation.
Yeah.
You're taking time out, or you're acting outside of what you would normally do. You're considering me on a level where you wouldn't usually consider other people. It matters. And it's if I love you and if I respect you, love is cute, but if I respect you, I will reciprocate that thing. And up until we stop respecting one another, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
What
I
are we
think
doing?
in most relationships I'm seeing nowadays, people are just coexisting with one another.
It's security, maybe.
Basically,
Yeah, so there's no longer that I choose you.
Yeah.
I choose you. I'm just here. I'm here
yeah,
because
we
you are
together.
here.
We
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
so
then it's like,
that's
yeah,
what-
we-
Where does that come from though? Want nou praat ons nê. En ek sien ons baie van julle ouens, yeah, we're in the day and age, girls just want money. Yeah. What is the real issue? Sê wij wil sê mo bors. Like
No,
when
I
we
mean-
coexist as jy van ek is saam met van jy betcha my. Ek kry airtime, ek kry
Or when you need something and then
you know, what is it?
jumping.
As a man.
I like how the interview
I'm
turned.
gonna flip it around because we've seen it. What happened in this week?
What happened? What
I
happened?
also want to know what happened.
Oh, I like
With,
things.
uh,
What
What
happened?
Ricky?
Ricky.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Men-
yesterday, man.
Men also needs that attention. Men also need that
100%.
idea.
100%.
So, are you just if a guy cannot provide you financially,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
that's probably the number one failure of marriages.
Can she provide for herself?
If a woman can provide for all herself or always,
Yeah.
but she will always want a man that's gonna
I hear you.
Yeah, she's always gonna want that man because jy die gaat werkie and your wife is bringing brings the bread home.
Yeah.
Dan you gaan hoor hoe useless is he.
Hy's a tough man, Kendall. That's a tough man.
That's unfortunately the world we love it.
Yeah.
I think we struggle a lot, as much as we'd like to think we do it often. I think we struggle a lot to be our partner's peace in times like this, because I would assume that men don't like being unemployed because also societal pressure tells you that you need to be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
So she's also not contributing because you are already fighting your mind. So she's also not contributing, telling you you're useless.
Yeah, I
You get what
think
I'm
peace
saying?
is important, but I don't want you to be my peace. I want somebody that's with me in the storm.
Alright.
But sometimes, Kendall, do you understand that if I'm with you in the storm, we can be in the storm maybe for 7 years, as opposed to I see my man is going through it. Let me see what I can do outside. I can always step in and say, okay, you've been here. You've been sulking of jy is no bietjie af vir 6 maande. What can I do? Of ek het nou aan 'n plan gedink. But if you stay together in the storm, we're going to end up being there longer than we're supposed to be. You know what I'm trying to say?
Because there's some guys that love that petty part.
Even vrouwens.
Yeah.
Even vrouwens.
Definitely.
So
Okay. Yeah. So yo guys, it's got deep for a second.
Yo,
I think we should bring it back.
So, yeah.
We should bring it back to the industry.
Yes, because in
So also you mentioned earlier like how you used to sing in taxis and stuff,
Yeah.
and how like you've always been a performer. Do you ever think of having a career in music?
I still do. I sang before I could act.
Yeah.
I sang before I could act, and I sang for many years before I started acting, you know? And then it's...
she used to be amazing wedding singer. I remember singing.
Jeez, guys, wow, I sang. I sang actually. Ooh, that made me also so sad because, geez, I sang. I used to sing. And then it stopped somewhere. And I think it was me having to make a choice.
Yeah.
How am I going to enter this industry, and as what will I enter this industry as? I'm not saying music is as easy. I'm not saying acting is easy either, but I made a choice, and I made that choice, and I can feel guilty for it. I can feel bad about it, but I take responsibility for the choice that I made to become an actor first, or rather to branch into acting, to think about music. But also, I'm very. You can see when someone doesn't respect what they do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
you can also see if someone is just doing it because I can
Yeah.
do it, and you know. Whereas I cared about acting so much that I studied it, and I'd like to think that I care about music that much as well. That I'm not just going to pick up a mic today.
But acting was like your first priority.
I chose it.
Okay.
I performed and I sang, but I sang before I performed. But also acting is performance. But I'm talking about acting now. You know, I'm just like, and I chose to go in with acting. I chose not to study music. But I'm also saying that if I ever do one day pick up a mic again, and I haven't even used my vocal cords, and I don't know how long, I know that I'll probably go visit a voice coach again.
yeah.
I will learn music again because I love it that much, as opposed to just let me just see what I can do. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I still do think about it, but I also think what it would take of me and from me to go back to it. So yes, I do still think about it, and I probably will, and I wouldn't know, and you wouldn't even know it's me singing if I had it my way. I'll never release music under my own name.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's also that thing of. And you know how our industry is, it's another actor trying to sing, it's another singer that thinks she can act. You want to do everything, as opposed to you're good at what you do, and maybe you see me as someone else, and you can hear me independently and not associate me with, you know. So you don't judge Altovise, the actor, as a singer, but she's singing, and whoever it is, it's her, and she's singing. You like that or you hate it, but it has nothing to do with Altovise as the actor. That's what I would do.
Okay. So being in the industry for how long that you've been in?
Over a decade.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you faced as a woman of color in the industry?
Oh my.
A woman, then a woman of color.
Ageism, I think, is a problem in our industry, in a sense where you're only sexy in your 20s, or you're only sexy when, you know what I'm trying to say. And when you see the roles being written for women, you see once you turn 40, depending on what you look like, your shelf life, it's here.
Yeah.
Maybe now you're only just playing the mother, constantly the mother, but the mother can be sexy.
Yes.
The mother can want fun. At 70, people are still getting it down, you know, in real life. So why can't that happen in movies, because art imitates life. So why aren't you telling the stories of old love and young love and divorcees finding love and a single mother, a single father? So what was the question? Yo, my attention span is so small.
Your challenges.
No,
As a woman of color.
Yes.
I want to come back to that point of ageism. I want to come back to that point. I've seen it,
Yeah.
and this is just my personal opinion, that women grow sexy, beautiful, but you will always hear they say, Mary J. Blige, this is gorgeous, 51.
Yeah.
Hailey Berry, she's beautiful for
J-Lo.
that age.
Yeah.
J-Lo, she's beautiful. But with men, it's not that thing.
Is the thing. It depends on how you
No,
feel yourself.
I get it. You
No, but
take
also
care
it's
of-
also their genes.
Yeah, but
No,
men-
but there's pressure on women in the industry.
Yeah.
Men don't have that problem. You feel
No.
like George Clooney.
Exactly.
They don't say
Okay,
George
yeah.
Clooney is handsome for
However.
50. They
Yeah.
just say he's handsome.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say Fela, like this curve.
Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
all these guys. What's that English guy, James Bond?
I don't know.
Daniel Craig.
Not Daniel Craig, but you always hear they say he looks handsome. Yeah.
I just think women have to do too much work to because you eat with your eyes first. All of us eat with our eyes first, but the camera also, the people behind the camera, the people choosing who must be a particular character. And me and my Yonis is a bit duck. We want someone with a slimmer nose or a six pack because we know that we can sell her better, because we're going to use her in more sex scenes, because you're at a wedding but please wear a bikini. It doesn't make sense in the story, but you're selling my body. So I think that as long as women are sold as sex objects, that is the first thing. But also we have a particular standard of beauty in the industry, and it hasn't always been black women. And when we talk about black women, I'm also talking about dark-skinned black women, and also women that have curlier hair, thicker hair, kinky hair, coily hair. So now that the standard of beauty is slowly shifting, but I also think that people who look like me are making stories about me when before there wasn't space for that. You know, it's people who have no knowledge of what it is to be a woman of color writing my story. They are men writing love stories for women. You don't know what it is to be a woman, and you're writing a story for me. You know, so I think ageism plays a role. Race will always play a role, but I also think the dynamics of the world is shifting, where black stories are being told, a dynamic array of black stories. It's not just love stories. There are black people making horror movies, and when I say black people, it's not just people of color, all of us under the black umbrella if you're not Caucasian, but black people are making horror stories. Black people are telling science fiction stories. So I'm like I love the diversification of genres of the stories that we're also telling. But for me as Altovise, I'd like to think it's age, because people cast me as a mother so much. I keep getting cast as a mom, and I'm just like, do I look old?
Yeah.
Do I look old? Like my first role as a mother was 20. How old was I? 26, 25, and I'm just
Was
like,
that the shower to shower ad?
nah, Scandal.
Oh yes.
When I'm just like, what are you seeing that I don't see? Because do I look old? Why am I always a mother? You know, and then you have ads, and they're like, you'll make a great mother. And then another ad, and like, Altovise, we want you to audition as a mother. And I'm just like, why can't I be the girlfriend?
Yes,
Why
yeah.
can't I be a sexy something?
I can't be a side chick.
Why can't I be a side chick? Like, what is it about me? Is it my face? Am I not eating right? Am I not? Is it because my hair is short? I'll wear a wig for this audition.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly cast as a mom, or the girl in her late 30s. And I'm just like, but I also understand that I don't, compared to my peers who are the same age as me, we look different. So I'm not mad at my friend that looks 16, that is 31. But I know that I don't look 42. But it's just for some reason, I always fit in there. And I think another thing that I struggle with, besides the sound outside interfering, is when it comes to being racial casting, I'd like to think. You know, you walk into a room and they're like, are you sure of your race? And I'm just like, no.
How can they
Am I
ask
sure?
you?
No, but fine that they do ask. But it's just like, now you're not sure.
Yeah.
Like, am I? Also, what do you think my people look like?
Exactly.
But it's also just what you see in film, because, you know, like when I did Scandal, someone's like, oh, it's so nice to see a dark skin colored like you. And I'm just like, actually, I don't see people that look like me portraying colored characters. I don't see. I see the same type of colored character
Yes.
that looks the same and sounds the same,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
Cape Town.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
I look now they're like, I didn't audition, they're like, where's your accent? I said, what accent? Your colored accent. I said, I'm not from Cape Town. I'm not from Cape Town. They're like, oh, I'm like, I can put it on, but do you understand that not all
Yeah.
people are from, not all colored people are from or look or sound. So I think
Yeah.
that's another thing, and it gets boring because then I sound rude in my auditions where I'm just like, you're older than me, and as a casting director, you should have Googled.
Yeah.
Or also you've lived in South Africa. I
Yes.
get it if people outside the country are confused, but as a South African, how are you still confused by me? How are you confused when I'm around you, when I live on the same continent as you? I think that's
But
my
I think
issue.
that's like a universal problem. It's not just the industry, because I know I experienced that at school as well. It's like when teachers want to be friendly with you and then they do the whole colored accent.
Yes.
So I don't speak like that. I enunciate. I don't say yes, I don't.
Yeah.
So please, like,
But also you can't blame them because they're just consuming what's available to them. You,
I
you
get
know?
that.
So
I get
before,
that.
so I've had to teach myself your muni no rawasi, mlani af switchy.
Yeah,
Let me first see what
definitely.
angle you're coming with.
Yes.
Because if you're gonna come with disrespect,
Yeah.
I will reply in a disrespectful tone. But as
Yes.
opposed to
Set the energy.
you being friendly, oh, I can teach you. I can explain to you how that is not okay.
Yeah.
You know, just like how I
Yeah.
expect you to tell me if I'm offending you. You know,
Very respectful manner.
100%.
yeah, definitely. But I do think that there's like this line where I'm gonna tell you friendly, you know, like, cause you
But
guys
don't do
know-
it again, alright?
Yeah, but don't do it again. If you do it again, I'm gonna.
Ek gaan slaan.
Yeah. What's gaan beklei, man?
Ons gaan beklei.
Because I remember there was this one teacher, and I'm not gonna mention him because everybody knows it. Every morning he would greet me on some Ulaikala. And I'd be like, sir, I've never said Ulaikala in my life. Please don't greet me like that.
I would have
A good
replied
morning is
differently.
sufficient.
He's lucky he
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. So I was like, good morning is sufficient, sir.
Yeah.
Next morning, Ulaikala. I was like, okay, maybe he forgot.
You should ask, what are you saying?
I asked him the first day, and he's like, Ulaikala. I was like, sir, I've never said that in my life. I'm not sure what you're saying. And
Yeah.
he's like, stop playing, man. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay.
Lol.
That's nice. That's very nice one. So then, and then I left it. The next morning, I was like, sir, I do not speak.
I'm gonna
like
report you. Say it one more time.
that.
Say it
I will
one more
report
time. I'm gonna report you.
I will report you. So yeah, I think it's the line between being friendly but assertive.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we do need to define that line as colored people. So yeah, moving back to us, you.
Did I forget a
Rather.
question? Did I not answer something?
You
okay,
did.
carry
you
on.
did. You had various points. Thank you.
Yeah.
You won top actor. Please tell us
Yeah.
about that experience.
Jeez, what year was that?
That was 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
2014.
If I'm not mistaken.
8 years ago. If my math is wrong, woo! Please correct me nicely.
Yeah.
I think it's 2014. I'm not.
Yeah, 2014.
100%.
That would be 7 years. Yeah, that's 8 years ago.
I
What
think-
about it?
How was your experience? How did that feel? How, like, from the beginning to the end, was there stuff that you don't like? Because as Hookah comes, we're here to dig. We wanna know.
Yeah. Also, you know,
Why was there not a second season?
my memory is terrible. There was Top Actor Africa, so not just Top
Okay.
Actor South Africa. So they made Top Actor Africa season 2. I think Top Actor was terrifying for me. Just graduated. I want to burp.
You can go for it. It's a good post.
Yes. Let it out. It's a sign of appreciation anyway.
Sorry, I know vorsrik. That's baie jammer. But Top Actor was terrifying for me. I had just graduated from art school, doing drama. And I didn't know what to do next. And then you're around friends, and I'm just like, my friends are already on TV shows. My friends are doing this, and
Yes.
what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And then, just like, an acting competition. I'm going to do it. Fearless. Yeah. I gaan op TV as I don't want to cheat anymore. Because miskien was just like, you know, when you watch Survivors, jy enige game show kyk maar net maar die Barry, die man het verloor. Jy gedink jy kan sing. All of them competition shows they like, you know. But Top Actor was terrifying, and then I was scared, and then my man's like, do it. And I remember being chosen last. It was supposed to be a group of 10. They made it a group of 12, and I was the number 12. I was chosen 12th. I'm just like, cho. I made it in.
Yeah.
And you know, I think I use it as a learning experience. I'm evolving. If you enter a competition,
everybody wants to
ideally you
win.
want to win, you know, but I think because I was still so fresh in mind and face and everything in between, that I just want to learn. This is just school all over again. It's school for as long as I'm still here, up until I get eliminated, but it's school, you know. It was great. It was different being away from home. It was different not having a lecture. It was different as an actor that just graduated, having to think for myself. And it's a challenge. And I'm there with people older than me, people that have toured the world. Like Nick was in The Lion King, I don't know for how many years. The first black person to play the lead in Phantom of the Opera. Then you have Francois Jacobs, who's great at what he does. And then you have Cece and just like, there are people whose CVs are so long, who's got accolades in acting, and what do I know? Because I'm just book smart, but I haven't touched a stage, I haven't done anything, so what do I have to offer, you know? So it was pretty scary, but because I treated it as a learning experience, I was able to go and say, I don't know how to do this. How do you tackle this? I don't know how to approach a scene. How do I break down a scene? And those people, it became a group of people that just helped one another. So I think the environment, more than anything, was fertile ground. And all I needed to just absorb, and learn.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Elsa. Then moving on to your first on-stage performance, being the Colored Museum, right? Yeah. So, like, what is that experience like? Like, what is the prep going towards that? What was all of that about?
Before doing the Colored Museum, I think my only stage experience was school. Okay. And then when you get to art school, first years aren't allowed to be on stage. First years are there to assist everyone else that's not in first year, so you learn. First year is you learn. You don't have the privilege of acting on stage, so you will help carry boxes, you'll help set up lights, you'll help move, so the groundwork needs to be done. And then for my first production to be the Colored Museum at the Market Theatre on the main stage, I think I only I'm realizing it now, is that it wasn't on the street, guys. It was on the main stage at the Market Theatre, and my first director being James Ngobo, and I'm just like, geez, do you know James Ngobo? Do you know James Ngobo? That's what a serious guy, you know? And then you see the people you're on stage with. I'm just like, you're still new. Still like, you know? But also you're like, also me. Also me, you're acting with me, you know? But it's for that to be my first experience now. And we did it during Black History Month. And it was beautiful that my first on-stage experience being at the Market Theatre on the main stage, directed by James Ngobo, telling this poignant story of black people and black struggle, written by a black person. I know, I'm seeing it now, how much it actually meant. I think back then I was just excited to be at the Market Theatre, but sitting back and reflecting on it now, that was a moment for me. And I don't think I've been on stage since. I haven't been on stage in years since that performance.
I actually remember that play. That play actually taught me a lot, is because I remember, you know, almost Dati and everybody.
I opened that play, by the way. I opened that play, and my name was Miss Pat.
Yes.
In an American accent, okay.
So I remember that, and I remember going to see the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but mommy, we are colored people.
Yeah.
And there's just black people on the stage, and it's about black people, so how?
Yeah.
And then my mom actually, I remember my parents sitting me down and teaching me the roots of the word colored people.
Yeah.
So, and then I will always attach that memory to you, because I'll be like, Alto acted in that, and that's how I learned from that.
Yeah.
And so, there's a foundation that you laid there, Alto.
Yeah, people should read that play.
They definitely should.
Definitely read that play.
Yeah, so also, let's talk about your acting career. Let's talk about your acting career, right? You did a movie, The Other Side.
He's recht. Die
The Other Side, then you were playing a lesbian.
Yeah.
Was it, did you have to go research for that role? Did it come naturally?
No, I can't say.
At least you weren't the mom this time.
I wasn't a mother. I'm not. Didn't come naturally. I had no former background on what it, you know, on
no
someone's sexuality. No, I haven't had. Yes, eintlik getruimte om uit te vorderen Guinness in my past days, but I can't say I've had prior experience. You know, especially with sexuality, I don't identify as I identify as straight rather. So it was just asking people around me. You know, I've got friends who are gay, who are lesbian, bisexual. You know, there are friends who are trans. There are people all across the LGBTIQ plus community. You must stop calling them the Alphabet Army.
No,
they come for you.
No, they don't. That's a name that was created in the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
no, but I'm still not used to that though. But I think in that community, I just asked like my friends who are lesbian, like, what is it? Like, what is it? But I don't think it was deep for me. I think when I approach my acting, it's a person and another person. Your race, your gender, you're a person first, and then you're a man, and then you are black, white, colored, Hispanic, whatever you identify as, and then you are lesbian. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, was net, ek het net 'n mens gebou, wat is the mens? But I think for me, the most important thing was asking the person that I was acting with, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable? So ek nou vir jou, so nou kom kry, you act and then someone kisses you. It's the first time you said, why is your tongue in my mouth? Why are you grabbing my bums? You can, I'm selling real life. No, but you are acting, but you see movies where people are just, you know, and people just like, it's a moment and you are kissing the person you love, or you know what I'm trying to say? I need to make you believe that the moment that I'm giving you is real. And if I fail at that, I failed at my job in that instance for me. So it's always, for me, it was great because I've never done it before, but it was very intriguing navigating like, okay, we're about to have a kissing scene. What shouldn't I do? How do I make you comfortable? I make sure my breath is fresh. I make sure my teeth are brushed. I'd like my person to do the same thing, whether you're a man or a woman. Make sure your breath is fresh. Make sure your teeth is brushed. Because I've kissed a smoker before acting. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. But also, when you're kissing and you're in the moment, where can I put my hands? Where mustn't I touch you? It's very important because now you come get, the scene has been so great. And just the way that I kiss you and I touch you, noji afgesit. And now that thing that we've built up is just pop, you know. Yeah. So for me it was pretty exciting. I was very nervous because I've never actually kissed a woman like that, you know. I've never had to be with a woman like that. So as much as it was interesting, it was pretty scary, but I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I could actually do it. I'd do it again.
Okay, just a disclaimer. Altovise says he doesn't kiss smokers, but Hookah smokers is different.
Oh.
You feel the taste in your mouth.
What is it? Flavors?
Yeah, you feel
Marshmallow. What is around?
Watermelon
Mint
something.
cream chocolate. Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Also, guys, like enough of the acting and stuff. Like, I wanna go like in depth. Like, you suffer from a condition, right? I'm not gonna pronounce the name because I'll make myself.
Try.
go. Alopecia.
Alopecia.
There
You
we
see?
go, right?
Yeah.
So how was it like for you?
Alopecia for me is actually so boring. It's very boring.
It's a,
Alopecia, I've got alopecia, so it's essentially my immune system attacking itself, ne? Where I lose hair. I don't grow hair on certain parts of my body. So my eyebrows are microbladed on because I shed eyebrows a lot. My eyelashes are also shed. And then on my head, so I've got patches. So I've got alopecia areata, and then you've got something called alopecia universalis, where you don't have a single hair on your body, you know. And I know someone that has alopecia universalis from the top of her head to her toes, not a single hair. So my hair grows very patchy on my scalp. So patches here at the back, sometimes in the middle. It gets worse when you're stressed. Sometimes my hair can grow properly for a year, and then the next month, for the next 6 months, I'm just losing hair. So at this stage, I think it's boring for me.
Okay.
I was like,
Like if affect you in any other way?
no, it can't. But also, I think it's such a good thing that I'm not attached to hair because,
Okay, yeah.
and you know what? Also, the thing is for me, I'm so glad that I'm not attached to hair because if we're being honest. And especially with kleerling mense are like everything is about hair.
Yeah.
Like you could be dating someone and they'll tell you, "Ooh, kyk kom hare, kyk kom neus, kyk kom," and I'm just like, what the hell does that have to do with love? For example, you know, I'm trying to say, if I love this person, whatever I create in love will look like love, and whether that comes with a big nose or an unattractive facial feature, it's my child, it's my love, and you shouldn't be bothered by that, you know. So I think I'm happy that I'm not attached to hair because I get my you know, and it's never bothered me, but also because my parents didn't make hair a thing, you know. Like I go bald so much regularly. I'm not attached to hair. I can grow hair now until my knees. Okay, it's never been there. But then also I can wake up and cut my hair because hair has never defined me. Hair has never been the end all and be all, especially because of how much it means in our community. And I find that boring. That how much we praise hair. It's ridiculously boring. If something happens to you tomorrow and you, for example, God forbid you're in an accident and you burn your scalp and you can't grow your hair anymore, blame somebody langar. If it's not anymore, then what are you? What are you outside of your hair? What are you outside of this thing that they say is gold. So hair means really nothing to me, especially because I can buy hair. I've got wigs.
Yes.
Okay.
And have that show.
That show, you know, and I'm just like, I can buy it in any color, in any form, in any shape, in any size. So hair has never meant anything to me. It meant something to me when I started losing my hair because I didn't know what was happening. Up until I got diagnosed and I said, oh, it makes sense now. I'm aware. So I'm not crazy. It's not because I was a natural head for the last 10 years. I don't relax. I don't use chemicals on my hair.
Yeah.
And then when my hair started falling out, I'm just like, but what am I doing? Because I'm taking care of it. Until I'm just like, oh, you got alopecia. Okay, now I understand. But I'm just glad that I wasn't raised to praise it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring you back to your movies. Speaking about chemistry. Did you ever felt like with one of your co-cast where it was like, damn, I'll eat it? Because I'm just...
Wow, okay, no.
Because love by chance, I was like, this is fucking real. She's in love with this guy.
Wow.
I love him. I love that Tandwa. It also helped that Atanda was this thing, guys. He went to Wits. He was my senior. When I was in first year, Atanda was in, I think his third or his last year. And it's Atandwa Gani. And he calls himself the Prince of Theatre. When Atandwa walks into the theatre, as for, oh my God, oh shit, also because it's like, I'm great at what I do, and he does have that attitude, and he can back it up, and then you go all the way in a foreign country, and I think what drew Atandwa and I close is that we're 4 South Africans in America, and all we have is one another. You know, where we shot Love by Chance, we lived in one house together, myself, Atandwa, Denise, Nicholas. We're in a house together, and we sound the same. You can speak Zulu to me. It's the same language, it's the same tone, it's the same everything. And outside of that house, we're in America. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just like, what did you say? Your accent? Well, they didn't understand my accent. So I think in that time we drew close to one another because we're there with one another. I know you. You're my source of home, and I'm home for you because that's what we know. But I think it was also the constant chats. It's after rapping, after work, you sit down and you have drinks together and you're like, oh, this is the person behind the name. You know? You're a person that loves, and this is what hurts you, and this is what causes you pain. And I think that's what made me see him beyond the character. I saw a person. And I think he saw a person in me too. So I think that translated on screen.
Okay, so speaking about now America, so did you try to, what was the purpose of going to America? Was it going to be like, I'm going to be a Hollywood superstar?
No, I think every actor, I'm not going to speak for every actor, but most actors rather, would like to be that big. Yeah. You want to be on the big screen. You know, straight out of Banauni. You know, so for me, it was just like, I'd like to think every actor would like to reach their peak, and the peak doesn't necessarily need to be Hollywood. You could want to be the biggest star on the African continent. You could break out in the Netherlands. You could be the biggest star in Canada. You could do anything you want. You know your ceiling, and you can break through that ceiling. But I think my dreams are just everywhere. It's everywhere. I have people that I want to meet and things I want to do, and I want to teach art in China, and I want to learn the art of Nollywood. Why are Nigerians making the films? What? And it's a thing. You know, it's like it. You know, we just like, you can criticize Nollywood all you want, but those people have a niche. And they're gonna make those movies. We don't care what you say. With my cell phone, with my camera, we're making it, and it's a genre. I don't think South Africa has a thing yet. You know, there's Hollywood, Bollywood, Nollywood. We don't have really Mzansi Hood yet. You know what I'm trying to say?
The bioscope.
The bioscope. And that's good, but I'm just like, we don't have our thing yet, because if you say Hollywood, you know what it's for. If you say Bollywood, you know there's dancing, there's a performance, there's music, you know. Even when you say Nollywood, you know what to expect. You're going to see those stunts. You know what I'm trying to say? Even when you see Chinese, Japanese, or rather Korean cinema, you know what to expect. But I think for me, what was the question?
I was asking, what was the purpose?
What was the purpose? Oh, because we shot there. Oh, I went far, honey. Also, the producers, the writers.
The Netflix series Dead Places, like I was there.
That was good. But like, I'm gonna bounce to your question now, but I think for me it was because the writers and the producers were American and it was set in America. You know, you could set something on space, I'll go there. You could set something in India, I go there, as long as the background supports the story, because essentially it was the story of South African actors trying to make it in America. And how do you shoot that? You can shoot that in South Africa, but the premise, the backdrop is America, so it had to be in America. And I'm thankful for that. And speaking of Dead Places was a treat. It was different, because I think it's the first. It's another South African original, but you don't see. Is it mystery? What is it? Supernatural.
Okay, yes.
It was a supernatural story. You know, there's a ghost involved, paranormal activity. So to see South Africans making things like that, as opposed to, there's another story about, you know,
24 corners in all this.
Which is great. No, we can't even, because that, because I'm just like, it was good to see something different. It was a different story, so I enjoyed the fact that it was different. It was different.
Yeah, I agree. But I like it. Not legs, but no. I'm thinking because you're a girl from Reichardt Park, right? And Reichardt Park is
emphasis on the Reichardt.
No,
it's often Reichardt Park.
There's so much bad people when they see Reichardt Park. And
so much negative energy.
I'm having this person that I know, like few streets away from me, and I'm like, I know her. She's shooting movies in New York. She's on Netflix. How do we inspire those kids? Because I've been to a great few concerts, and not to the acting might be amazing, but the storyline is always Bible. That's always. Why are we not having more writers? I know I've written a script.
Kendall!
No.
How? Kendall!
No, but everybody.
How are we only finding out like this now? We have to get Mr. Beast for you to send us this.
No, Nino knows about the script.
Nino
knows about the script.
Oh wow, so you're keeping secrets from us now.
Nino knows about the script.
Bombshell.
And actually I was stuck on the script for a while.
So the entire
and I
Hookah
was
cast knows
finishing.
about this except for me.
Yeah, I was stuck on a while for it.
It's
I was stuck on it for a while until we had our first episode of Hookah Cast. And then the guest presenter, she completed it. I was like, this is the person I want for my script. And I bite the whole, but I finished the script, so my script is
well done on finishing.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's still okay. Obviously, you can't, if you're gonna go to a Netflix, you can't share it without through media.
Exactly.
But how do we get our people to say, let's have our own theater in Reichardt Park? With original scripts, original. I don't want to see another story of David killing the lion. You get what I'm saying? I know that story. It's a biblical, and I don't want to sound unholy. You get the right word. But that's what we say. We don't have creativity. So how do we get creativity back into
Reichardt Park?
We don't
We
we're
really
very
don't.
boxed.
Yeah.
We're very boxed.
We'll copy what someone else is doing. I'll be surprised in a few weeks and you see another Hookah Cast coming, because let me say I won't be surprised, because we like to imitate, we like to copy. Somebody opens a tuck shop or that is it. But how do we get creative?
Attack shop at I want to sell and make money.
No, but then we copy. We don't have, like I've been. Let me tell you what I've been. When I went to my work and I wanted to resign a few years ago because I wanted to open an arcade. Right, I'm still doing that. One of the biggest arcades. That's my vision. So.
Kendall is just dropping
Yo,
bombs.
No, I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you
Blast
guys.
him.
No, I'm doing it, but that's what I'm saying. Then the first thing they asked me, and there was a black manager at the time. It's like, obviously, when you resign, you're only thinking 3T. That's what he says to me. He says, colored people and black people, we're only thinking 3T. Tuck shop, tavern, taxis. That's when we resign. That's what all we want to do. Transportation. We don't. And I was like, no man, this guy is not getting me. I feel I have too much creative juice in me.
You do.
Whether it's not paying right now, but I want to show the creative side. So how do we get that? You as an artist, how do we get it back in? Get it into Reichardt Park?
I just feel like people from Regenpark basically just have a perception of what it
Kasi
means.
mentality.
Like, yeah, it's,
Kasi mentality.
What is
it's
Kasi
a
mentality to you?
It's a Regenpark,
Like I
like
think
gangsterism and drugs and all this stuff.
not just the negative things. I think we, as Kasi mentality, I think we tend to invest incorrectly. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So there's a lot of times where, and don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I will never judge any of the local schools, but I know that there's a lot of people that will rather pay, $200 for their kids' school fees, and then their kids just getting full like to
yes.
like head to toe. You get what I'm saying? So I think Kasi mentality is a lack of knowledge on investment. You get what I'm saying? And like priorities and things like that. So I think that's where Kasi mentality for me stems from. Like you get like invest in a business, don't put bags on your car. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
What is bags in your car?
Like
Bags,
suspension, man, like
suspension.
dropping it.
Yo.
That starts
I'm like, check us.
No.
I'm like, check us, grocery. Okay. Bag. Yeah.
Now what creativity back in our communities?
Also, when you attacked, not attacked, you went for Critch kids. Oh shame, Kendall. We know that. Oh shame. Leave the birth of Jesus. Leave David and leave them, and that's their first experience. But also, I'd like to think that colored communities, I'm going to speak for this community, values religion and spirituality, whichever one is dominant. You know, so we're going to speak on those stories, because when you speak to different aunties and uncles, it's like, ons soek die Here terug in die skool en ons soek die Here terug in particular things, and because God is not in those particular spaces anymore. So on that, I'm just like, they're kids, and I'm just happy that they're even trying to exercise that. But when it comes to creativity, dude, you can make an example of someone as great as Kanye West or Beyonce or whatever. You might have been acting since the age of 3, but even now at 40 or 30 something, you don't stop being curious.
Yeah.
What else can I try? What hasn't been done? How can I copy the Hookah course, but how can I make it better?
Yeah.
Because you should be flattered that someone actually sees what you're doing. They're like, this is a great concept. This is a great concept, and I want to take it further. I want to take it in a different direction. What if I do Hookah cast, but we are eating sushi? I don't know. Hookah and sushi. We don't know what the thing is, but I think when it comes to creativity, especially in Regenpark, it's you need to want it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've stopped wanting to be creative. You know what I'm trying to say? In a komba fun, you just don't feel sorry for people anymore.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry. I feel sorry for people who are actually struggling.
Yeah.
For people who are actually trying, But I can't feel sorry for someone that hasn't even tried. Because when I wake up at 3:30 alone, Kendall. Like, when I wake up at 3:30 alone, and I get paid that amount alone, and I come back at 11 o'clock at night alone, and I have to learn 10 pages of script alone, to sleep at 12, to wake up at 3:30 again alone. And then at the end of the month, you're going to ask me for money. And if I can't give you, tell me I'm selfish. I was alone. When I auditioned for 50 projects and 49 people said no, I was alone.
Yeah.
I prepared for all those 50 projects, 50 auditions alone. So that one yes is for me, it's for God, it's for my family. It can't be for you, you know? And I think outside of money, because sometimes maak ons goed is van geld. Nee, Altovise, jou man pa het, of jy het geld Altovise, of jy het die Altovise. That's why you can Altovise. And I'm just like, no. I knew the Israel Mall because I saved for it. En toe sê ek hoor van die Israel Mall. Laat ek 'n taxi van my na Chom en gaan sien wat is die Israel Mall. Ek sien wat is die dorp, Ek het skool toe gegaan in die dorp, maar ek 'n bietjie huis toe loop met ons Chomies. Laat ek 'n bietjie huis toe loop. Hoe lê die dorp? I think I remain curious. And it's always what else, what new. It's like if you give me a movie and it's the 9th time I've played a mother. On the 9th time, how different is she from all the other 8 mothers that I've played? You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't think that we are not creative. Any location. We are creative. But I can't want it more than you.
Yeah.
And I teach my brother the same thing, that Kendall, you can have the biggest dreams, but I can't wake up and make you audition. I can't, you can tap out your seat, but I can't wake you up and take you to work.
Yeah.
I can't wash your clothes and iron it for you. If you don't want your dreams for yourself. I can't. It's self-preservation. And don't mean say snacks in that instance. I'm like, I want that for me. I want my dreams. I want it more than anyone else. The closest thing probably is my parents and my family who support the dream, but they support the passion that I have.
Yeah.
But now you walk in the street, Altovise look up TV is.
Okay.
And there's people who don't know. There's like, I'd like to think that I'm a teacher. I can sit, ons kan no be hoekie sit kinderen, and I'll tell you where to go. Come and check on my phone. These are the agencies you need to check out. This is a headshot. This is how you do your resume. I can help you with this. I can do this with you. But I can't want your dream more than you. And ek dink soms dit in die lokasie, and when that switch turns off, when I get to a point of, okay, yo, you lekker. You dink is beter as ek. I can't want it more than you. Whatever you want to do in this whole world, guys, in the universe, in this life and the next life, you can't want someone's dream more than them, because you're going to end up doing the work for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one's doing the work for me. I've got a support system, but you also build that support structure. You know what I'm trying to say? But when you wake up, and again, because I've been watching this Kanye West documentary, sorry, but I'm just like, when you watch from episode 1, Kanye's mother, but Kanye himself, do you understand? You can tell Kanye no. He's going to say, that's nice, but I'm telling you, I will. I am. No one can tell Kanye anything. So if you don't have that, I'm not saying the same as Kanye, because everyone's not built the same. I'm not a Kanye. I'm not a Kobe Bryant. I'm not a Beyonce. I'm an Altovise, and this is all I have. And the passion is all I have. And I'm nowhere close to Kanye in terms of him believing in himself. I still doubt myself. I still question myself. And I think that's why I'm not where I want to be. I think I'm very behind in my life goal. I'm not halfway close to where I want to be at the age where I'm at. I thought I'd be a superstar at 16. But at 31, thinking about the work I've put in, I didn't put in half amount of the work to be where I want to be, you know? You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm just like, Amal and Ikasian, you get to a point where Amal check for yourself, which is a problem for me. But all means, protect yourself, look out for yourself. But I feel like the community is so selfish. It's so selfish. We're so selfish, and we don't consider one another, and that's why we can't grow. It's an ecosystem. Like ons chill in die parkie, ne? You drink. You throw your plastic here. You throw your bottle there. The dustbin is next to you, Kendall. You don't do that at your house. Why are you littering? Okay, maybe because I have an issue with littering, but why are you littering like that?
Yeah.
You know, so you don't care about your environment. They put new swings in, you steal it.
Yeah.
They replace it, you steal it again.
Throw it over.
You do it again, they steal it. Now they stop putting in swings. Yeah, you don't respect the infrastructure. I don't have to give you these swings, but you don't respect your own infrastructure. It's like people that drive 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers. Because you're checking people out on the street. I'm behind you. There's a long line. I'm not saying drive 70, because we know how populated we are. You can know what kind of but there's no reason for you to be driving 20 kilometers. You are inconsiderate. So you're considering yourself so much, you don't care about everyone else. You go to a shop. Why can't the people who go to the shop park on the pavement? You've parked around the corner in the street. I can't turn. I have to wait. You've inconvenienced other people for yourself. You're selfish. You're selfish. Ons kan nie uitkyk vir mekaar nie. For me, I'm just like, you can't move together as a community, because number one, you don't respect where you come from. You litter, it's dirty, flipping young kids are smoking, kids are drunk, kids are not in school. If I say now, hukuma jeni school ni, then the child's mother wants to fight you. And it's a nyaga nyaga here happening, because we don't have the sense of other. Ubuntu is only here. Ubuntu is as far as my nose, you know. I can't for a check, but I can't check from the person across the road. So for me, I think what stifles us as a community, and even your creativity, when you live outside of yourself, Kendall, I think much more comes to you, because being a part of the community means being an active citizen. It means something could be going down in the flats. Ek bly nie in die flats nie. Maar sê my ek ry verby of ek kan daar bo uitkom, drive up and see what's happening. If you can help, help. But the smallest things like littering, the smallest things like driving 20 kilometers, the smallest thing like parking in the middle of the small things, like not indicating when you're about to turn, because I'm in my car and I don't care. I think that's a ripple effect. It's a bigger thing. Because everyone is living for me, me, as opposed to we're a community. And now we're fighting amongst one another, but everyone's saying, oh no, we're here for the bigger picture. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
Or they have the mentality of saying, this is in my car, so what?
Yeah, but you're not alone. Because if I left you alone in the car, you'll die.
Exactly.
Alone. You can't make it. So I'm just like, I think when everyone sees themselves outside of themselves and becomes an active citizen, and maybe that's why creativity is also so stifled in this community, because we're not active anymore. Say vir my die kinders wat interested is in acting, in music. Do they attend practice? Do they try? Do they this? Do they that? I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
Because now you establish a whole acting space. There's one child that comes, but there's 45 that ask you, how do I get on screen? But there's one child that comes, and that one is the one you can save. And for me, that's how I see things now in Recha Park, is that I can't help everyone, but I can help you if you want help, because you can help me too. And is it I find you skuld my next skuld for Yoni? Inherently, we're constantly exchanging knowledge and learning from one another. But if you only live for yourself, in yourself, by yourself, and you see it in so many ways in this community, we're dying. Recha Park is literally dying. Recha Park is gone. I think we can still recover it, but it would need robust. Ons moet sê, wanneer mense sê genoeg is genoeg.
Yeah. Not everybody stands together there.
What are you saying? Genoeg is genoeg. It can't be enough is enough for 2 days when we're angry. It needs to be genoeg is genoeg. Waya. Because when you see how other communities are prospering around us, wat doen hulle? They're active.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Recha Park is not inactive, because there are citizens who are actually trying and going up, but I'm just like, I can't want it more than you. And then when people lose people, or when people move out of Recha Park, and now you visit and go, you don't gelos, I want more. And the only thing that can stop me from my ultimate higher self is death. And if there is an afterlife, I'm gonna rock there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But if it means leaving here, because I've learned what I can learn, and now next, Kendall, I don't know if I'm gonna succeed outside. I don't know, but I'm not gonna stay and wonder. I'm gonna go try. And if I fail, my ma says it's altijd well. My room is there, my bed is there, my dogs are there, my man pa's are, my broers are. So I'm not even ashamed to fail outside and come back. It's the fact that I've got the courage to even try.
Yes. Yeah.
But I just think as a community and an ecosystem, we're dying if we're not dead already. And the 3 people trying to bring this, I see 3 men, but I'm just like, the few people trying to bring this community back, hulle sê, nee man, jy moet afdrukkerig as mense, soms jy doen nou 'n bietjie te veel. Of jy dink jy's beter. Jy's so gaam, and I'm whatever that even means, Jalil, jy's so da. But I'm just like, it's that, and I'm just like, sometimes you have to cut the umbilical cord. So for me, it doesn't matter what is said. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, my point is that I can't want it more than you. Yeah. I want things for myself where I'm just like, what am I sacrifice for this next thing? I'm going to have to do a thing. And if you want to do the bare minimum and not wake up and not apply for a job and not try to send a CV and not try to ask for help and not try, I can't help you. You have to die off because you're the weakest link. Yeah. And you're going to die off.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And survival, we can all survive if we help one another. Let's just help one another. That's all.
So touching on that point, would that be your message for Recha Park? Being, I can't want it more than you.
No, I feel like that's leaving it on a negative note. I feel like saying I can't want it more than you sounds a bit negative, man.
No, but it's the truth. But it's the truth.
It's Altovise's truth. I can't want it more than you as Altovise. You know what I'm trying to say? I think we need to wake up. Recha Park needs to wake up, and Recha Park needs to be really honest with itself. Waar is ons nou? Where are we now? What is the problem? The problem is 1, 2, 3. Who's the problem? The people who are the problem is A, B, C.
Yeah.
Do we correct? How do we correct?
Yeah.
Do you want to work together? Do you need to get out? You know, it needs ultimatum. It needs robust action where we're still treating certain things with kid gloves in Recha Park. For certain time to say, guys, no, sorry, I'm digressing.
Yeah.
School kids are fighting for what? Like, sorry, this is so random. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm back. But I'm just like, there's so many things. I'm just like, kids are a mess. The adults are a mess. Me, myself, as an adult, I'm auditioning to be an adult. I'm a mess. But if everyone is a mess and no one... The problem in Regepak is someone will say, guys, let's try the blue option. No, we're not going to try the blue option. If the blue option, it was altijd rooi. Red doesn't work. Try the blue way. And if the blue way doesn't work, we come back and we try green. We come back and we say yellow. We come back and we come back. But if we're going to sit from a position of not even going into that fire and saying, yeah, nah, that was rough. That didn't work out. And we come back and we try again. That's also, you know what I'm trying to say? But also, how do you work in a community that's lost its spirit? What must I do? I've got spirit, but I can't carry 50,000 people with me. Yeah. What do I do? And at that point, you get like, I have to leave you. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail forward.
Yeah.
If I'm going to fall, I fall forward. If I must crawl, I'll crawl forward. But if I stay with you, I die too. And I think as much as I say that people in the community, and most times I can also be very selfish. But at some point, you need to be selfless. And I think if more people become selfless and have a better sense of understanding of what it means to be a community member, an active citizen, and understand that ons almal plug iewers in. As jou plug uitkom gaan die ligte afkendel, we need you. We need you. Daar gaan 'n punt is where if I can't, you must. If you can't, I will. And up until we build this with one another, we're dead. There's no pulse in Regepak. How do we bring the pulse back? One person can't do it.
Yeah.
And also be honest if you don't care. Say it with your chest that you don't care, so that we know that we don't involve you. And I can't talk to you, but the 3 people that must go forward will go forward. But then don't blame the 3 people for being tired and giving up on the rest. Don't do that. That's not nice.
Final thoughts?
Okay. So I think this was a very informative episode.
Jeez, that's something I thought it was going to be about acting. Eh?
This was a very informative episode. So yeah. That was a bit spicy. You added a bit of heat to that conversation. So might as well jump right into our challenge, Elsa.
What's this?
So our challenge is we have some of the hottest sauce on this planet. Never mind Regepak, never mind Boksburg, never mind South Africa, never mind Africa.
You're passionate.
The world. I'm very passionate about it. So you need to dip a wing in there. And
in this hot sauce.
In this hot sauce.
For the sake of visual.
Yes.
For the sake of visual.
Yeah. So you and our lovely guest presenter has to dip in the hot sauce, and then Alto, you have to sing something for us.
Okay, Kendall likes to guarra crash people for David and Goliath.
Okay.
So you're gonna guarra me. We're gonna pray now. Sorry, hi.
Alright.
Wait. What we're about to receive, dear Lord, make us straight and for Christ's sake, and bless the hands that made the food and those who have blessed. Amen.
Amen.
Let's rock.
Amen.
What must I do?
Dip in.
I like flats.
Me too.
Oh gosh. I also like
Okay,
that.
okay. Sorry, I touched it. Okay. Teach me, Jalil.
Okay.
Teach us how to learn.
There we go. So take that and the meat and you dip it in.
Are you guys gonna sing with me?
No.
All right then.
Ga
Ga saam mee sing.
Wat gaan ons sing?
Ek sal uitvind daar by pad go.
Do more than that, Alto. Come on. Commit.
That's more than that.
Commit.
Come on. Taste.
Don't sip anything. Guys. I would advise you not to sip anything.
There is a race. There is a race that I must run. There are victories to be won.
Yes.
Give me power.
I don't know.
Every hour. You can't do. Oh, you was in 2001 geboren. To be true.
95.
Sing something in the. There is a race down the run.
There is a
Sing a keer song by keer.
to be won.
As sy nie wonderba. As sy nie wonderba.
Yes.
As sy nie wonderba. As sy nie wonderba. I don't know the rest. Hy is die.
What?
Laat ons hier daar. Whose hot sauce is that? Cut.
So guys, you know, your
Hookah
Hookah is hot. Hookah is fire. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. Altovise, thank you for being here.
Sharp girl.
Anita, thank you for being here. Kendall,
Thank you.
another episode done and dusted. Here we go. From Hookah Cast.
Oh.
Bye.
Oh, guys, also, guys, last thing.
Last thing.
Oh, Jehovah. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
If you
mental
guys see
health.
me in the street on a real note, if there's anything that I can help you with, be it helping you with a CV, helping you with something, please don't be afraid to ask me. We're there to help one another. Anyway, sharp, still for my airtime, bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
This hot sauce is morsach. This is demon. I will never do this. Whose hot sauce is this? That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Guys, what is this?
Very good, mate.